My name is Dr. Htein Lin, infectious diseases specialist in Epidemiologist. I'm a chief of the infectious disease department and also chair of the infection control committee for a hospital in Fresno, California. We have monk Sarana here. He's the Buddhist monk originally from Czech Republic, visiting to Mrauk Dhamma Center to share his meditation experience. Welcome here, Monk Sarana. Thank you so much for coming here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. So I heard that you've been practicing meditation since the age of 15. You've been using this technique to alleviate pain, reduce stress, relax the muscle, and to also to elevate the body dysfunction such as cough, sneezing, and hiccup. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. Since my age of 15, I practiced meditation, and the first meditation practice I practiced is relaxation of muscles. It's a very non-religious practice. It's a very simple way how to gain control over some of the subtler parts of the body. And I've been practicing this practice for over 18 years. So I have found it very helpful. And one of the added benefits, because this practice can be used also for insight practice and religious practices, but one of the added benefits is that I have more control over these bodily discomforts such as coughing, sneezing, or hiccup.
It's truly amazing. So now many studies suggest that the meditations help patients alleviate the pain and suffering. For the fact, in the ABC News, it suggested that at least 31 U.S. hospital has been using different method of meditations to help patients with their suffering, alleviate pain, and promote their health. So is that only restrictive to Buddhism, or is that open to everyone?
Yes, I believe that this practice is open to everybody because it doesn't contain any necessity to believe in anybody or anything. It doesn't contain any rituals. So I think not only that this is obvious from the practice itself, but also we can see this practice followed in many secular communities. And I think it is also good for those who follow other religions, because it is a kind of preventing, of unnecessary stress. It's a very very non-religious practice in terms of that you just work with the physical of the body. It's not necessarily spiritual at all.
Thank you so much. So in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, how the meditations, how the relaxation method could help the patients prevent from the infections, or how this method could prevent from suffering if in case they got infected, and how can we help them go through this pandemic?
So I believe that based on my own experience, although I never had COVID-19, so this is so far only in the hypothesis stage, I believe that this practice gives me power over the muscle spasm, and I get more power over that what my muscles are doing. So when cough is supposed to start, I'm able to be mindful of the fact that cough is going to start, and I'm able to relax the muscles which would cause cough, and therefore I don't cough. So if it is caused by phlegm, then I would know that there is phlegm in the neck. And then, let's say after the meditation practice, or whenever it would be comfortable, I would clear my throat in the bathroom. So the practice of relaxation can help reduce the stress and the muscle spasm, and therefore it can also reduce the danger of spreading the disease through coughing, because it reduces the coughing. Also, it can help others who are not ill yet, because they will be more ready for dealing with the disease if, unfortunately, hopefully not, they will have to face it. And meditation has many other benefits, such as increased mental power, increased satisfaction, and so on. So I think that the main point here in this practice is the relaxation of the muscles that are better relaxed than tense, and the power over the body, better power over the body in the conventional sense. So I believe that those who suffer from cough, those who would like to alleviate the symptoms, can make use of this practice, and also they can reduce the danger that their disease would spread to others.
Thank you. So this is for the prevention. But if in case somebody get infected, hope not, if they have severe coughing, if they have very anxious for themselves or for their loved one, how meditation can help them go through this crisis?
As I just said, the relaxation practice helps to work with one's present moment, with the muscles in the present moment, and the muscles that would be tense unnecessarily and therefore create unnecessary stress would be relaxed, and therefore the mind is calmer, it's more peaceful. Now, what is an important detail here is that it may not help everybody. So there are people in the world who will not be able to get benefit of this practice. Why? That I think would be a subject of a deeper study. But I, as a meditation teacher, I have instructed this practice to quite a number of people, and it seems that maybe 80% of people are able to practice this with good results. There are never bad results. I've never seen anybody suffering or having any problem, physical or mental, because of this practice. It's a very simple, non-invasive practice. But for those who would like to try this out, I would like to make it clear that this is what helped me. So it doesn't necessarily need to help you. And at the same time, it may help you. So this is something that I share out of my experience, and something that may help and doesn't have to. How to prevent any unnecessary difficulties is to be mindful, to be careful when you try this out. Observe your mind, observe your body. You need to know what's happening, and if you feel that it is not comfortable, if you feel that this is not helping you, then stop it. This is one of many, many ways how to achieve peace and satisfaction in the world. And so you do not need to be attached or stick to this, especially if it doesn't help you.
Thank you so much for clarifying. And also, when you are mindful, you don't forget to cover your cough. You don't forget to wash your hands. You don't you don't forget to stay away from the sick people. So this will be helpful. And also, this is not only good for the patients. I believe this is good for the healthcare workers like us, physicians, nurses, pharmacists or anyone in this healthcare industry, do you have any suggestion for these important workforces in this pandemic?
Yeah, again, I would like to make it clear that this is not like a medicine that will cure everything. Absolutely not. And it doesn't mean that if you practice this, you will be absolutely peaceful and free from stress. No, no way. But it helps, you know. So it is a kind of added solution, you know. It's an additional help in our life to deal with our difficulties. And the more it's practiced, the more powerful it is, obviously. So those who are too much stressed, those who are too much busy will obviously not be able to give much time to this practice, and therefore they will not benefit from it as much as those who can practice it intensively. So 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day is powerful. It can change a lot, but it is of course more powerful if it is practiced hours. So my students practice it 8 hours, 12 hours a day during 7-day meditation retreats or longer meditation retreats. And then of course the benefit is much wider, much more powerful. So for the social workers or medical workers or anybody else, it's necessary to remember that this is a practice that creates a skill. The more you practice, the faster you get the skill. And it helps also if it is practiced a little bit every day, but you shouldn't think that if you practice this like 10 minutes a day, then you will be cured, or that you will be able to prevent from any disease at all. No, absolutely not. So it's just an additional help, support, you know, in the life. But I still believe that it's worth it.
Thank you. So today is the day we met for the first time. But for my first impression when I met you, your appearance is so vulnerable. I would say it's just like all the Burmese monks I've been seeing throughout my whole life. You know, you're mentally so clear, your face is so clear, you're so focused, free from all the worries, you know, free from fears, even with the COVID-19 pandemic. So can you share your experience, please?
All right. So to practice it, it's necessary to follow some rules. If there are no rules, then it is not that powerful. So it's like if you are preparing a good meal, a delicious meal. If you don't follow some important precautions, if you add too much or add too little, then it will not be as delicious as you expected. So for meditation, it's the same thing. We need to follow the rules. We need to follow the way correctly. So for this practice, for relaxation, it's necessary to sit in a comfortable posture. So we sit, you can sit on a chair, you can sit on the ground. Now we are sitting on the chair, so I'll speak about sitting on the chair. And most importantly, we keep the back erect. Right? We keep the back erect, we keep the legs in 90 degrees, you know, the thighs and the calves need to be in the 90 degrees. The knees need to be as wide as are the hips, and the soles of the feet need to touch the ground entirely. You can keep your hands any way you want. I like to keep one hand on the other, but you can keep them on the knees as well. And I would like to suggest meditating with open eyes. So if drowsiness starts to come in, or if there are some other thoughts, they should not disturb you that much. They should not interrupt the practice that much if you keep the eyes open. But you need to be strict, and you should not look here and there while you meditate. So we keep the sight cast down. We see the floor in front of us. You can blink as much as you want, and you can of course close them if you feel uncomfortable having them open. And as you're sitting in the comfortable posture, we can make a decision. We can make the determination that from now on for 5 minutes I will relax my muscles. Very simple. You need to know what you're doing. You need to be there in the present moment. So we make the decision from now on for 5 minutes I will relax my muscles. Now for presentation reasons it will not be 5 minutes. And then after the determination, we can gently, lovingly notice that there is a flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. And we accept it with its weight as heavy. So it may not be heavy for you, but it would be heavy for an ant. And we accept the way how it is heavy. We are open to the weight of the muscle. And we can also consider the fact that we didn't design it. We don't have power over its aging or decay. So we allow that flat piece of flesh to be the way it is. We let go of it. It's not a muscle, but it's a good start for relaxation of the body. Then you can continue to the forehead. And in the forehead there is a muscle. So we can consider the muscle in the forehead as heavy. We can consider it as worthy of detachment. And we can also notice whether it is tense or relaxed. It will relax by itself if we detach from it. So we do not expect whether it's relaxed. We do not force it to relax. We're just open to the fact that it is either relaxed or tense, or neither of the two if we are not able to be aware of it. But as much you can be aware, that much you are aware. Gradually will improve. And then we continue to the eyes. Now there are some muscles surrounding the eyes, and we can consider them in the same way. So again, they have some weight. They are not worthy of attachment, so we detach from them. We allow them to be the way they are. And we apply our mind to know whether they're tense or relaxed. And in that manner, we continue to the nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, and we can detach ourselves from all of the muscles throughout the head. We can consider the weight of the muscles in the head, and we can explore whether there's any tension in those muscles. Then neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, then chest, abdomen, back, and we can detach ourselves from all of the muscles throughout the upper part of the body. We can explore whether there is any tension. And we continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, heels, soles, toes, and tips of toes. And we can relax all tension through the detachment throughout the body. And then again, we can go back to the top of the head and gradually relax from there, like this, from the top to the bottom, from the top of the head to the tips of the toes, again and again and again, as much as the time that you determine can allow. Now, there are two things to mention. Now, some of the parts of the body may not contain muscles, and that's no problem. We are gradually detaching ourselves not only from the muscles, but from all of the body. The more you are detached from the body, the more the body is relaxed, and the more power you get over the bodily processes. Another thing is that if you happen to feel pain or unpleasant feeling anywhere in the body, do not jump to that place. Do not skip any of the parts of the body. You go through those muscles one after another, and as you go through those muscles, at one point you will arrive at the place which is unpleasant. The main point here is to understand that all of the muscles are ultimately the same, that they are just pieces of flesh. In this way, if somebody practices, they may gradually gain control over these subtle bodily processes. They may be able to relax themselves, not only during their meditation time, but also outside. That's why I would suggest to meditate with open eyes. So the meditator, so the person, gains the skill to relax any moment, anytime, anywhere they are, regardless whether they're with somebody in a stressful situation or in a peaceful situation. When you're waiting for the bus, or when you're on the car, even as you're driving, you can practice this practice, because even though you're concentrated on muscles, you are actually in the present moment. So even as you're driving the car, as you relax your muscles, you are actually more mindful, more in the present moment, and therefore you can prevent accident even better than if you were just thinking about anything. So we learn gradually to be in the present moment, to be satisfied and happy with the present moment, and that gives us the control, that gives us the power over the present moment up to some extent. One more detail to prevent unnecessary misunderstanding: we are not observing feelings in the body. We are not observing sensations. We actually don't even observe the mind. This is a purely material, matter-based practice. So you can observe the mind, you can observe the matter. Both of them are very powerful and helpful, also for other meditation practices. But in this case, we observe only the matter. We observe the heavy nature, the nature of weight in the muscles.
Thank you so much. Even this fraction of the time of the 24 hours may be relax and all the stress and anxiety I carry throughout the day is pretty much gone within that short period of time. Thank you so much for teaching me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, and hopefully it will help some other people too.